everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the Clionadh Cosmetics Aftershock highlighters. Finally, I have used these in pretty much every get ready with me. I've mentioned them in multiple favorites and I wanted to talk about them a little bit more in depth, and I wanted to compare them to something that I think is a little bit similar that some people might be looking for dupes for, and that's the KVD Alchemist palette. So I've wanted to do this for months. I've had these Aftershock highlighters for months, and as soon as I started using them, that was it. They quickly became a staple part of my makeup routine. No matter what I'm doing, I'm always using them in some capacity, whether on my lips, on my cheeks, or my eyes. They are notably missing right now because I will be doing a demo at the end. I just wanted to go through some of the information about the stuff first. So I do have the Alchemist palette from KVD. I no longer have the packaging because I had some packaging issues, but I still have them. I've been hanging on to them because I wanted to compare them. There seems to be 4 shades from the Aftershock line that really closely dupe the Alchemist palette, but I really prefer the Clionadh formula much more than the KVD because of the transparent base, but I'll go through all that. So you've probably seen the Alchemist palette before. It's this triangle palette, kind of holographic, and the shades are described as being holographic, although they're not. The 4 shades are Emerald, which is a green, Sapphire, which is a blue, Amethyst, which is an ultraviolet, and Opal, which is a pink. This was described as a transformative palette for eyes, lips, and cheeks. So you could use them on their own, or you could layer them over other things. You could put them over your winged liner. You could put it over your eyeshadow, pat it over entirely. You can use it as a highlighter, either inner corner or brow bone. Use it as a face highlight, pat it on top of your lipstick, or multiple shades on top of your lipstick. Whatever sort of combination you feel like, you can create what you want. So when you look at swatches of the Alchemist palette shades, you can really see the white base. And sometimes it can look a little chalky, and I feel like because it has a white base, it hinders the transformative capabilities a little bit. You definitely get more of that white showing through than just the reflect of the pigment. Now, Clionadh Cosmetics, on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, has a transparent base. So it lets the reflective pigments do the talking. So if you've never heard of Clionadh Cosmetics before, they are a Canadian indie brand. The brand was founded by 2 sisters. The products are all handmade in Canada, and they are vegan and cruelty-free. So the Aftershock High Voltage collection has 8 different iridescent highlighter shades. They all have that transparent base, and they have a brightly colored reflex. A huge bonus of them being an indie brand is that the highlighters are available in different formats. So you can buy them individually, or you can buy them in different bundles. So I will go through all of the options that they had listed on their site. So for individual pans, they are 36mm pans. So that's basically the size of one of these Juvia's Place eyeshadow pans. So they are the same. This is just one of the KVD ones, but the smaller ones are the same size. But just so you can see, that's a full size. That's $15 Canadian, just like one of those pan sizes. I don't have the bigger sizes. I have all of the smaller ones. I'll explain all that. So that's $15 just for one. I'm just gonna run through the bundle information first before I get into the actual shades. So I'm just gonna use the Juvia's Place palette for reference. So you can get a bundle of all 8 of the Aftershock highlighters for $110, so that's a savings of $10. Or you can get a bundle of 6 for $80, which is a $10 savings, or you can get some smaller sizes in bundles. So that's what I have here. I have all 8, but these are 26mm pans, and these are $50 for both. Or you can get just one for $27. So in comparison to the Alchemist palette retails for $32 US, which is approximately $44 Canadian. So $27 Canadian versus $44 Canadian is a huge difference. For just a couple of dollars more, you could actually end up getting both. So you would have 8 shades instead of 4. That's the price value there. If you look at the larger pan sizes, it's obviously very expensive, but when you think about how it's supposed to be used like as a face highlight and used in multiple different ways, it makes sense. I kind of wish that they had them available in the smaller sizes as well. So if you just wanted one or two, you could get them in the smaller, more like eyeshadow sizes. I do wish that they had that option available, but there are already so many options. So I'm sure you want to actually see them. So I love the little packaging for the little quads. I think this is why I end up using them so often. So first off, I really like the whole painted splatter thing. Now, when you look and compare the packaging for indie brands to larger brands, there's definitely going to be some differences here. Like, you can tell that this is like from a smaller brand, that this stuff is handmade, but I like that. So I actually just dropped this palette just now, and one of the shades just came loose in here, so I have to be extra careful now. But I like that this actually has a mirror, so each one has a little mirror. You can use it as its own little compact. I know that's why I end up using it so much more, because for me personally, I love having a mirror in whatever I use, because that's how I do my makeup. This one is definitely used and abused because my favorite shade is in here. I will go through all of them, but first I will go through this particular quad that I have here, because all the shades in here definitely match up with the ones that are in the Alchemist palette. So we have Spark, which is a pink iridescent, Current, which is a turquoise with aqua tones, Breaker, which is a blue-toned purple that shifts to warmer violet, and High Voltage, which is a metallic lime green that shifts true green. So these four shades are very close dupes to the Alchemist palette. I swatched all four of these next to the Alchemist shades over a black liquid lipstick base, actually the same lipstick that I'm wearing, and you can really see the transparent effect a little bit more. You can see how close they are though in tone. I just feel like you can accomplish so much more with the Clionadh ones. Plus, then there are four other shades as well. So you have Fuse, which is a warm-toned coral iridescent. You have Circuit, which is a metallic yellow gold iridescent, which is my favorite one. You have Electrocute, which is peach that shifts golden, and you have Ohm, which is a pearl metallic that shifts from icy blue to magenta. So there are a lot of options there. The hardest part sometimes is just choosing what you want to use. So I'll zoom you in a little bit, and I will apply some of these on my face in various spots so you can see them in action. So the light is a little strong right now, but I'm gonna go in first in the inner corner with Circuit, the shade that has all kinds of pan on it. And I'm gonna apply this heavily just so you can really see the color. Like, I'm not going for a perfect eye look here. I really just want to show off what the color looks like. This is the one that I used most often. I will use it in my inner corner, and I will use it on my brow bone as well. So that's just like a heavy application of it. The thing with these is you can build it up or you can blend it out if you want to. So I'm just taking like a fluffy brush and I can blend it over just a little bit. So I'm going to take the shade Fuse now for around my brow area, and like I said, I'm applying this heavily so you can really see the effect that these give, because you can see I'm just like right underneath my brow bone, I don't have anything there, but I do have shadow close, so you can see what it looks like on top of the shadow. And I always like to blend it in a little bit. I always just find like it's such a cool reflect. Now on the other side, I will go in with Electrocute. And it's just the subtlest little bit of highlight. So on my face, because I have no face highlight, let's do High Voltage, why not? The green shade. So this is the one that would dupe the shade from the Alchemist palette. So these shades would also be very similar to like the Moonchild Glow Kit. However, these have that transparent base unlike the Glow Kit. So again, I feel like you can blend it a little bit differently and it just gives a different effect, because from certain angles, it's like you don't have anything on your face. So again, this is just like a really built up highlight. I didn't really blend it in much, but when you look at it in movement, from one angle, it's like you're not wearing a highlight, and then all of a sudden you can see the green. So I will take the green shade from the Alchemist palette and I'll put it underneath just because this is just a demo. So you can see this is, on top is the Clionadh Aftershock and on the bottom is the shade from Kat Von D. And the Kat Von D one stays more noticeable because of the white base. So I feel like this is just the easiest way to compare the two shades. And I just much prefer the transparent base because when you really blend it in, you don't see it much afterwards. So that's the comparison between the two. I'm gonna switch to another clean highlight brush. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Let's take Breaker. And there is the purple amethyst shade right underneath it. So this, I did build that up pretty intense. But you can definitely see the white base. It's pretty dramatic swatches. So for the lip, I'm gonna take the shade Spark, the pink shade. You can apply it with your finger, with a brush. So that is Spark on one side of my lips. I applied the pink shade from the Alchemist palette on the other side. You can really see how similar they are, but you can also see more of the white. You can definitely see the white base, like on the inside of my lip. You can definitely see that a little bit more, and I feel like there's just more of a shine to the Clionadh one, but ultimately the colors are very similar, which is why I think it makes a really good dupe. I'm just gonna blend them together. I find that you can also layer so I just took a little bit of Current from the Aftershock and I layered that on top. So you can really create your own shades. Now if I take the blue from the Kat Von D, so you get a similar effect, but it's definitely more powdery on the Kat Von D side and there's less of that reflect like you see on the other. So that was just some quick demos and comparisons. I hope this was helpful or at least a little bit interesting. I've just had so many questions lately about the Aftershock highlighters because I've been mentioning them so often and so many people have wanted to know more about them and people have been looking for recommendations and wanting to know how to use them. So I hope this answered some of those questions. If you have any other questions, please let me know down below. The only con I have found with this formula so far after using it for months and months on end is that the inner corner doesn't tend to last very long. Now, I have very watery eyes, so a lot of things that I put on the inner corners don't last very well, but I find that I only get a couple of hours on the inner corner with these highlighters on an average day, just because of the way that my eyes work. So that's the one con I will mention if you are looking for it specifically for an inner corner highlight, just something to be aware of, at least from my personal experience. But I haven't had any issues with longevity when it comes to wearing it on my face, when it comes to wearing it on my lips, aside from normal lip usage. Obviously it's not gonna last through eating or drinking, which is pretty much a given, and for like brow bone highlight and stuff, I haven't had an issue with that, or just packing it on top of other eyeshadows. No issues with longevity whatsoever. Everything just lasts so well, which is why I've been so impressed and why I continue to keep using them over and over and over again. I hate saying that I'm obsessed with something because it really gives the wrong idea, but I am obsessed with these. I have to know where these are at all times because I use them every single time I do my makeup. It's just one of those necessary things where I will tear my whole vanity apart. I will tear everything apart if I can't find one of these compacts because I'm always using one shade from in here. So they just truly are a favorite of mine. They are truly something that I've been using all the time since I got them. And I have to thank Angelica because she's the one who sent these to me many months ago. and I'm so grateful because they are just a necessary staple in my routine now. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. As I said, if you have any other questions, let me know down below and I will do my best to answer you there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there are any other things you would like to hear me talk about, and I will do my best to do so. Thank you for watching and spending some time with me today. I really truly appreciate it, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.